So do you think people fear more of, I guess, further pain than their current pain? Do you think, like, yeah, people are afraid to become the leader of their own life because of maybe that pain it will bring them, and is that fear greater than their current pain where they can't express that?
The idea of the consequences of leading your own life, because this comes down to how the brain works. The brain is created to protect us from threats.
Yes.
So if you see a snake, the brain is going to respond appropriately. Unfortunately for us human beings, we are responding to non-real threats. So when if mom and dad says, I'll take my love away, that's a threat for a human being. Or if you raise your hand in class and you get the answer wrong, there's no real threat. You're not going to die for getting the answer wrong. But the way the brain responds to that, it's as dangerous as seeing a snake.
Yeah.
So that's what limits us. But we are not going to school being trained on how to work with our brain. So a lot of the time, the fears that we have, I'm not saying not all of them are real, but most of the fears we have are actually not dangerous.
Yeah. So how does one overcome that?
It's by first disputing what our brain is saying. So for myself, I have to continuously dispute what the information my brain is saying, because the moment I'm born, I'm being trained what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong. I'm also being trained of the consequences if I don't follow the well-trodden path, because there are consequences. Some of the consequences are people abandon their children when they discover that they're gay. There are real consequences.
Yeah.
Some people have lived in homes where there's family violence. So those things can get in the way of then forging our own path. And it's valid. And what I'm saying is that there are tools and ways of forging your own path irrespective of our circumstances. And the starting point is reclaiming our personal power.
Yeah.
That's the first step. We have to reclaim our personal power, the power that's already inside of you. Every single person has it. So it doesn't matter, what family, society, your friends say. We've got a power to act. We've got a voice. I'll give you an example. In America today, it's not fashionable for a gay person to use their voice. Look how horrible it is to use the word fashionable.
Yeah. Okay.
There are repercussions for expressing a point of view.
Yes.
People are being deported. People are being put into detention centers.
Just a quick announcement before we return to the podcast. If you're enjoying this episode of Midweek Motivation, you may be interested in checking out the Midweek Motivation newsletter, where every week I'll share with you a useful lesson on resilience, mindset, or fitness, or health in general, straight to your inbox. You also receive a free workout of the week, useful resources, and the latest videos that I've got up there. And just if you want to keep updated on my life, you'll find everything there. If you're interested in that, go ahead and hit the link in the description below, or go to Substack and search up Midweek Motivation. All right, let's return to the podcast.
American citizens are being imprisoned.
Yeah.
So there's real fear, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's not the question. The question is, who do I choose to be in the face of that?
Powerful.
That's the real question.
Yeah.
Who do I choose to be in the face of somebody is going to harm me, somebody's going to imprison me if I be true to myself?
Yeah.
Now, two things I want to say. Please don't put yourself in danger. That's not what this conversation is about.
No.
Don't put yourself in danger. This conversation is about finding your personal power and finding ways to express it that feels aligned with who you are.
Yeah.
That's what this conversation is. For me, I'll use my voice, but that might not be the same action for another person. It doesn't make me better than.
Yeah.
It's just that's where I'm at in my life.
Yes.
So personal power can show up in different ways. I'll give you an example of my friend in Nigeria. He's gay and he lives in the north of Nigeria. And in the north of Nigeria, the Boko Haram rule. The Boko Haram are it's an Islamic state, and they kill gay people. He has experienced and witnessed other gay people being killed.
Wow.
Teenage boys, people your age killing another black gay boy or sissy boy because they're gay, and celebrate because they think they have done a good job in reading, bad.
Yeah. Okay.
So, how does he find his personal power in a circumstance like that? So, no, he's not putting himself in danger saying, look at me, I'm gay. That's not the conversation. But what he has done is, it touches me, he's found spaces to be free.
Yeah.
He's found spaces to be free. So, before even releasing the book, he was one of my greatest champions. And today, he's still one of my greatest champions. And he's invisible.
Yeah.
But what do we have? We've got connection. And I will always be his champion.
Yeah.
So, personal power.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
That's really powerful stuff that we, especially I think in the Western world, we don't hear stories like that because we think that there's no threats, right?
Yes.
But not all the world is like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and this is also the delusion. If we are so grateful for living in the Western world, why aren't we all being so entrepreneurial?
Yeah.
And creating and seizing the opportunities that we have in the Western world. Like, if you really look at it, like, if you and I fail, we're both Australian citizens, we'll be fine.
Yes.
We're going to have food on the table, won't we? We're going to have love from our families,
Yeah.
won't we? We've got friends. We can't fail. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. But for other people in other circumstances, that's not the situation at all.
Yeah.
So what I urge is, if you're feeling like apathetic to life or can't be bothered or it's too hard, those are just the excuses of fear.
Yeah.
Because that's how fear grips. We'll say things like, can't be bothered, that's too hard. I just prefer. But underneath all of that is fear.